Well, Joey, in this video, we're going to continue where we left off in the previous video. If you missed that video, there's a link to it in the description. We'll talk a little bit about what a parent feature is and how we might think about where to locate one on a part. We'll learn how to temporarily disable inferred sketch relationships. We'll use the mirror copy feature. We'll talk a little bit about the auto scale sketch command. We'll finish off with one of the quickest, easiest types of extrude when we extrude to a point on the part. The next step for us is to begin adding ribs to the part. Let's think strategically how we should approach this. Before we do that, let's talk a little bit about parent features. A parent feature is a feature that helps to define other features in a part. These other features are called child features. We already created a parent feature in the previous video when we created the first peg on the building block. We then created a hole under the peg. We projected the position of the peg to the sketch for the hole and made our hole concentric with it. So the position of our hole was dictated by the position of the peg. When we changed the position of our peg, the hole followed it. This means the hole is a child feature of the peg. When we patterned the peg and the hole, these pattern features are children of the first peg and hole features. Any edit to the first peg or hole feature would change all patterned features. Now that we're adding rib features to the part, you can see pattern spacing is similar to the pattern for the pegs on the building block. We might be able to benefit in the future by creating our parent rib features beside the parent peg feature of the building block. I'm going to select the Home tab, select Extrude, and I'll go down here. So we're going to say Create from Coincident Plane, that's fine. And I'm just going to select the bottom face of the block. And before we do anything, now we're gone into the sketch environment. Before we do anything, I'm going to select Create as Construction and Project to Sketch. We've used this a couple of times now. And I have the Project Internal Face Loops selected, which is handy, and click OK. So I can select our cutout here and select the bottom face of our part and just accept those. First of all, I'm going to click on Create as Construction again to deactivate it. And I'm going to select Rectangle by Center. And you'll notice these red dotted lines. Tracking, looking for relationships. If I don't explicitly want to track for relationships, if there's a lot going on in an area, I can just press the Alt key on my keyboard and now I can just freely click without accidentally creating a relationship. So I click where I want the center of my rectangle and I'm just clicking anywhere. And now I can manually create relationships. First of all, I'll create dimensions. Smart dimension, we want to create the width of it. And that is 0.6 millimeters. And the depth of it is 0.2 millimeters. And hit enter. And now we can create relationships. So collinear, we can make this line collinear with this line and they pop into place. And now I'm just going to locate it from the center of this circle. And we have this horizontal vertical relationship. If I click on that, I can go down here and now the midpoint of our line you can see has been highlighted. So I can click to select that and the center of the circle has been highlighted with the glyph. So I can click there and now our sketch has been moved into place and it's fully constrained. It's actually a little bit hard to see because of our colors. What I can actually do is just hide the design body and go back and look at the sketch and it looks a little bit clearer now. And all the lines are black, they're all fully defined. So let me turn on the design body again. And so that is our sketch of one of our ribs fully defined. So I'm just going to click on the Close Sketch button. We're back through the Extrude command and one-sided extent is fine. And this time I'm going to choose Extrude True Next. Okay, and let me just check. Yeah, we're in the automatic extrude operation. That's perfect. So let's take a look, and you can see we have our arrow here, and it's either pointing out, or I can click in here. So let's see how that goes. If I click pointing that way, and we can take a look. It's a little bit, doesn't seem to have done anything for us. I'm not sure why. Just gonna click finish, click cancel. Oh, it's cut out, that's why. So, and you see it cut out the part. So that's not good. Okay, so we can go back into this command, right click on it in the Pathfinder, click edit definition, and I can go up here and I can change from cut to add, and now you can see the feature appeared properly. So I can just click finish, and there's our rib. So we can do the same thing again. So I click on the extrude, and this time I'm not going to go automatic. I'm going to click add just to be sure. Create from coincident plane, and I select the bottom face of our brick. I'm going to go up and take a look. Yes, so it looks like we've been brought into the sketch environment again. The line command has started. We don't want the line command, so I'm going to select create as construction and project to sketch. Project internal loop face loops is good. So I'm going to click OK. We go down here, I select the face of our part and select the face of the cutout, and right click to approve both of those. And I'm going to deselect create as construction and rectangle by center. There's also other options, rectangle by 2 points, rectangle by 3 points, they're all options. So I can go down here and I can hover over the line and click and place the rectangle. So that has automatically created a relationship between the rectangle and that line. And I can go up here, create a smart dimension. I can make that 0.6 and hit enter. And this one 0.2 and hit enter. Now we just need to constrain it vertically. So I'm going to use this horizontal vertical constraint. Hover over the midpoint of the line until we get this midpoint glyph. Click there. And now I hover over the side of the circle. We see the center up here, and I hover over the center of the circle and we get our circle center glyph. So I can click now, and that has been moved down, and we see this red dotted line showing that horizontal vertical relationship. Our line colors have changed to black. So that is now a fully constrained sketch. I go back over and click close sketch. And now we're back to the extent. We want a one-sided extent and extrude through next. So I go back, that all looks good. And yeah, so I can go up or I can go down. If I go up, you see the little warning. There's actually no next. That would be an infinite length extrusion. If I go down, it goes down until it meets the part. I can just click as it's pointed down and we create our feature. That's good. And we can accept that name and click finish. And we're back into the extrude command. Right, so now we have these two grooves here. I suppose this part, because it's symmetrical, we could do things with that too. So maybe let's use the mirror command. So you can go over here and select mirror copy feature. And we have the fast option selected. So it's looking for us to select the features. I'm just going to just be a little bit careful here. Select this here, rib here, and this rib here. And I'm just going to tick this little box and create from coincident plane. Let's try that. I'm going to select it's a little bit difficult to see the planes, so let's just look at it square on, and I'm going to hover over the right plane. That looks good. So I'm going to select that plane, and you can see our two features have appeared here, have been created. I can click accept that name and just click finish. That looks pretty good. And let's just do that again. So I'm going to click mirror. We'll leave it on fast, and we're just going to go through the select feature step. This time we're going to select I need a little bit of an angle to select them, so I'm going to select this rib, and our mirrored ribs, and I'm going to just select this checkbox. And this time for our plane step, I'm just going to look at it square on and hover over, turn on our planes. We don't want the top plane. We don't want the right plane. This time let's mirror them around the front plane. So I click on that and you can see there our features appeared there. So we can accept that name for the feature and click finish. And that is our kind of grooves on our block done, our little ribs. The final feature we can add to the part is the hollow cylinder on the underside. So let's do that. So again, I'm going to click on the extrude command. For the plane, I'm going to select this plane here, and we're brought into the sketch environment. So I'm not go- and the line command has been automatically started. So I'm going to click circle by center point, and I'm just going to place that anywhere and give it any radius. And I'm going to do the same thing again. So now we have two circles on our sketch plane, and they're looking a little bit weird. And we just want to kind of constrain them. I suppose the easiest thing we can do is just to make them concentric to each other. And now we want to find them a home. Because we created this part symmetrically about the base coordinate system, we can use the base coordinate axes. So I turn on the display of the base coordinate system, and I'm going to click the connect button, and I'm going to click the center of the circle, and I'm hovering over the origin of our coordinate system. And what happens automatically when you're in a sketch, when you select something on a different plane, it's kind of projected to your sketch plane. So you can see as I'm hovering over the y-axis, you can see the orange line shown below it on my sketch plane. As I hover over the x-axis, there's an orange line shown on the sketch plane. And as I hover over the origin, there's a blue dot on our sketch plane. So that's what I'm going to click on. So let's give these circles diameters. I'm using Smart Dimension. Our biggest circle is diameter 6.51. And we get a notification about auto scale for our sketch. We could have a sketch that has a shape close to what we want our feature to be, but its scale could be much bigger or smaller than we want it to be. With auto scale turned off, when you add the first dimension, it changes that sketch element, but every other sketch element keeps the same scale. This can cause a lot of unexpected changes to the sketch and the overall shape of the sketch to be lost. With auto scale on, when you add your first dimension and change its value, everything else in the sketch gets scaled to match the scale of your first dimension, so the shape of your sketch isn't lost. So in this case, when the diameter of the bigger circle was reduced by adding the first dimension, the diameter of the smaller circle was reduced by the same proportion. It's a really nice feature. It can save a lot of time. So that's 6.51 for our circle. And our smaller circle diameter of 4.8. So let's click there and hit enter. And I'm looking at it. This isn't a constrained sketch, so I'm looking at our relationship here. I think our circle is just on the y-axis. It hasn't been made coincident with the actual origin. So to make it coincident with the origin, we can also create a relationship to make it on the x-axis. The only way a point could be on both the x-axis and the y-axis is if it's at 0. So let's do that. I'm going to use connect, and I'm just going to hover over either circle is fine. And the center lift, so I click there, and now I can hover over the x-axis and just click. And now everything has been pulled down in line with the x-axis also. And you can see the change in colours. Still a little bit messy to see with our colour scheme we've chosen. But if I turn off the design bodies, you can see it much clearer as black. So that all looks good. Okay. And let's just extrude that really. So I'm going to click the close sketch button. We're in auto. Auto is okay. And we could really do a lot of different ways here. One-sided extent. We could choose finite extent. It's probably the simplest. And actually, it really is the simplest because you can preview how the part is created. If I go down, it cuts into our original part. If I go up, it's extruded because we're in automatic extrude. All I'm really going to do here is to move it up, and I'm going to hover over a part that I want to be coplanar with the bottom of our brick. So anywhere on the bottom face of our brick, and just click on that point, and that is our extrude done. The name is OK for me. I'm just going to click finish and click cancel to go out of the extrude command, and that looks good. That looks nice. So we're kind of there. All right, so I'm going to click save, and the only real problem with it is the color looks a little bit dark, a little bit dull. Not sure what I was thinking when I made it. It's a bit dingy looking, so we could fix that up. Let's go over here to our Pathfinder, click on this button, go down to Style Palette. I go to Plastics, select that, and our options are Body, Replace, that's good. And the colour, let's choose this for our colour, so I'm just going to double click on this. As I move over, you see the paint bucket. So I can just click anywhere on the part to paint it that colour. We still have this paint bucket. We can still paint parts, but I'm finished with it. So I'm just going to right click to exit that, and I'm going to close the Style Palette. In our next video, we're going to build on this. We're going to see how we can combine parametric design with equations to make smarter parts. Hopefully see you then.